to some of the names that we mentioned, the likes of Hagler, Leonard Hearns.
Yeah, they were great days, weren't they?
To the European Union middleweight
back in Britain, we had some good.
Oh yeah. Alan Minter.
Yeah, Tony Simpson, Harold Bomber Graham. Great.
Tony Simpson till he came up against Marvin Hagler, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Meine Damen und Herren, begrüßen Sie mit mir in der blauen Ecke den Herausforderer, the challenger in the blue corner from Austria, Markus Nader.
So Markus Nader, he's just 22 years of age, Nader. As I said, actually born in Ibiza, but he's based in Austria these days, 16-0. Since his debut back in March of 2009, and he's been very busy too, averaging 4 bouts a year. This is his 4th outing this year. The victories, whilst not being accrued against the cream of the boxing elite, have at least been against some fighters of significant experience, most of whom, certainly in the last year and a half, of 9 opponents, have all got significantly more wins than losses on their record. He stopped, though, just 1 opponent, and that was back in Spain in 2010, a guy called Gianmario Grasserini.
Yeah, well, certainly got the home support, and that can pay dividends, can't it?
The third fist, he called it.
Too right. But he's not really a big puncher, this fella. Well, there's only one.
Yeah,
win
one stoppage.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of respect between these two guys as well in the build-up. None of the trash talk, if you like, that we normally get associated with some of these things.
Red corner in der roten Ecke, der champion from Spain, of Spain, Roberto Santos.
This then is the Tiger of Benidorm, as he's known back home. He's 31 now, 18-6-2 the record. He's been around as a pro for 9 years, been relatively successful on domestic stage. He's won the Spanish title back in August 2009. Since when he's been beaten twice, one by the unbeaten and still unbeaten Nicola Schwechat, and a bit more of a surprise was a loss to a relative newcomer by the name of Luis Crespo. That was his last fight of 2011. This year he's been in action twice. He fought the unbeaten German prospect Dominic Brich. He fought to a draw back in February. We've seen Dominic Brich, and that was for the title, the EBU European title, and he met him again after that draw in September, and he stopped him in 8 with 45 seconds left on the clock. Here he comes through. It's so unoriginal that it's almost original to hear that coming in there.
Yeah. Blows hot and cold though, this fella, doesn't he?
He does.
Like a year ago, losing to Crespo. I looked at Crespo's record. He'd only won 6 from 9 contests, and yet in his last contest, this fella beats Dominic Brich, who was unbeaten in 26-27. So hard to work out.
Corner, the challenger, 22 years young, 22 Jahre jung. 16 Kämpfe, 16 Siege, 2 durch K.O. 16 fights, 16 victories, 2 knockouts. From Austria, Markus Nader. Sein Trainer, Otto Rami und Daniel Nader. Now let me introduce you in the red corner, the champion. 31 years old, 27 fights, 18 victories, 10 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, Roberto Santos! The judges. Pierluigi Poppi from Italy, Isa Letasari from Finland, Venislav Nikilov from Bulgaria, and the referee, Daniel van der Wiele.
Roberto?
Final instructions then before we get ready to go.
A clean fight, obey my commands at all time and protect yourself at all time. Give the best you can. Shake hands. Good luck. Pierluigi?
So then they're ready to go. Nader against Roberto Santos, and what will be staggering here is if we get an early finish, because neither of these two have got a history of big punches, early finishes. Tell you what, though, Santos has been stopped a couple of times. Ruben Diaz back in 2006, and a guy called Othman Ahmad in 2007, early on in his career. But again, if you percentage of the KO ratio, 37% is even less for Marcos Nader. As we said, just one opponent stopped back in 2010. So you're going to bet in. This looks as if it's got 12 rounds written all over it. This could all be about strategy. Nader, 9 years younger than the champion Santos.
Yeah, good 1-2 there from Nader. And what he's got to do, he's got to get the crowd on his side here, because they could play a big part, as we've said. And opposite for Santos, he's got to try and quieten that crowd a little bit.
Well, it was
and stamp his authority on, on the contest in the opening round.
I don't know whether they were trying to lull them into a false sense of security and almost kill them with kindness. When they turned up at the press conference this week, he was presented with a birthday cake, and I think Roberto Santos didn't actually know what to do. What he said was, "Thank you very much." It was, and they were arms round shaking, talking about big respect and liking the opponent. It was very, very unusual.
Yeah, he just wants him to fail the weight, that's all.
So decent start from Nader.
Yeah, I like that jab from Nader. Nice and straight, sharp. And then he brings that right hand home as well.
I was going to say, when you look at the condition of these two as opposed to Weber in the previous round, there's a world of difference. These are two middleweights. Weber certainly didn't look like it.
Yeah, the two middleweights in good condition as well.
Again, good hand speed from Nader. Nice jab and a good right hand as well. Managed to just get within range.
Yeah, again, got a good bit of speed about him as Nader. But also, Tim, I like his movement. I think Santos is just struggling in this opening round. He's a little bit too slow on his feet, is Santos. And Nader certainly took advantage of that. The movement's been good, and he's won this opening round.
Yeah, what you're beginning to wonder is whether or not we're getting to see the Santos that lost against Crespo, or we're going to see the Santos that beat Bridge. Two sides to this fighter, Roberto Santos, both of which have been on display in the last year.
Yeah, some good work from Nader in that first round, keeping the distance, beating his opponent to the punch.
What is it? I mean, you've been in this position before. When you get in, it's your first ever title fight. I mean, is it difficult to try and restrain yourself to stick to the plan that you've worked on?
You've got to stick to the plan in title fights, Tim. At the end of the day, they will have looked at the opponent on tape, on video, and you stick to tactics. It's absolutely crucial. You can't go in there just doing what you want to do. You've got to stick to tactics, and that's what your corner's all about. And a good, solid training camp working to those tactics.
So Nader in the red trunks, Santos in the white. Again, good hand speed, good couple of left hooks there as well. Short right hand now, switching from body to head. This is a good array of punches. And again, you're talking about the movement left to right. There's nothing predictable about him so far. but still a long way to go into the second round. Scheduled 12 for this European title. Santos for the first time, just beginning to show a little.
Yeah, better hand speed from the challenger. And again, that's good stuff, and the home crowd are certainly liking what they're seeing here.
Well, very important if he can get a good few rounds in the bag early on. He's got a marginal reach advantage over Roberto Santos, and he's making it count as well.
And going back to tactics also, Tim, you have to remember tactics can change throughout the contest. So it's down to your training camp then to probably sample 2 or 3 forms of tactics, because we all know that tactics can change. And you've got to be able to change with them.
He's still looking a little bit slow and ponderous at this stage. As Santos again, sharp, snappy, impressive work from Marcus Nader. He's having to work hard just to get into range to actually throw a punch and hopefully land it, Santos, at the moment. And again, coming back with a good left hook, then Nader.
Well, I spoke about Santos struggling with the movement, and I think he is a clear example of that in this second round. Nader is working very well at distance, but it's his movement that's crucial, and that's what's giving Santos all the problems. If Nader was to hold those feet a little bit, then it would bring Santos into the contest, but Santos is just following him around. He's flat-footed, and that movement is crucial for Nader. And that's why you see Santos keeps falling short with his work, because Nader's moving away from him.
Half a minute left then in the second round. Santos struggling with the pace at the moment. And Nader doing enough to take the opening round for sure, and he's doing a good job in this second round as well. Yeah, decent again. This left hook is doing a bit of damage. Quick to get out of the way as well, and that's another round in the bag for sure for Nader. Clearly beginning to enjoy himself here.
Yep, good round from him again. It's been a good start to the contest for the challenger. Nader coming through with 3 or 4 shots here. That was good there from Nader. Santos coming back with his own work there, but as you see, there's that movement. Catches Nader there. That was okay, but look at Nader again, straight on the back foot, trying to box at distance again. I think thankfully for Tim, for Marcus Nader, he's done a couple of 10-rounders, hasn't he? And he's gone 8 rounds 3 or 4 times as well. So he doesn't want to burn himself out, but he's gone the distance a couple of times over 10.
Yes, for his opponent, as we said already, he's done, what, 20 rounds this year so far. That draw, the 12 rounds against Dominic Bridge, the opening fight of this year. And again, he's trying to get out and catch his man, but he got caught with the right hand, and the left hook that followed it as well was pretty sharp and to the point.
Yeah, good reactions there from Nader. It wasn't a bad jab, actually, from Santos, but he just got caught with the counter right hand there, so he's just got to be a little bit quicker with his jab and get that left hand back to the on-guard position a little bit quicker. Oh. Good reactions from the challenger again.
Well, staying at distance is a good idea. Just want to go head-to-head, toe-to-toe with Santos.
No, definitely not.
And again, still falling short with the jab, Santos. And he's simply not landing any scoring shots, and he can fight at distance. He can just dart in and out and pick his man off. There it is again. Great jab that from Nader. Yeah, again, heads coming perilously close to clashing there. And that is what we don't want at this stage of the game, round 3. What you'd maybe like to see from Nader now is, instead of perhaps going in with those 2, 3, 4 punch combinations, he stays there for a bit longer, because sometimes Santos is just stunned. He can't get the punches off. He's got to deal with the speed, and he just can't do it.
Well, he can't deal with the speed, but as I say, the movement of Nader is troubling Santos a lot more than his speed of hand, in my opinion. He can't set for his attacks because his opponent keeps moving. Good hand speed from Nader again. The problem that Nader is going to have in this contest is whether he can keep it up. This is only the 3rd round. We've got another 9 rounds to go. Sorry, 10 rounds to go. So, you know, it's whether he can actually keep the work up going through this contest. Well, once he slows those feet down, Santos will come into it. And that's what they'll be saying to him in the corner. They'll say, he'll slow down, just keep on him, and he will definitely slow down.
Well, he's 22 years of age, so that might not come until very late in this fight, by which time he might be so far ahead, there's no chance he's going to stop him. And again, crowd loving this. Good atmosphere inside this hall, as Santos again misses with the right hand. Final 10 seconds of the 3rd round, and again finishes with a combination of left hooks, the jab as well. Great movement, great round, another round in the bag, and it's really impressive stuff. He'll be pumped now, won't he?
Oh, they'll be really pleased in that corner. He needs to get his arms in a little bit. The arms there on the ropes just reduces the tension. Well, there's tension on the arteries there, the blood getting to the muscle, so he needs to bring them arms in. But I'm picking faults here.
Oh, yeah, I know, but it's the difference, isn't it? I mean, you know, it's all the little things that make it.
I mean, that was a super right hand there, probably the best shot of the round there. Long range work, speed of punch is better from the challenger, definitely.
Seconds out for the 4th round.
But can he keep it up? That's the big question.
So round 4, if you just joined us, Roberto Santos of Spain in the white, and Nader of Austria in the red trunks, and his 3 rounds up at the start of this EBU EU European Union middleweight title fight. And it's been an impressive 3 rounds so far.
What we need to see from Santos, Tim, is probably more targeting the body. When you've got a good moving boxer in front of you, one of the tactics that you've got to try is you've got to try and hurt him downstairs, to slow his feet down a little bit. You know, nothing's getting home downstairs to the body from Santos, so that's what he's got to probably try and do. Feint to the head and whip a couple of good body shots downstairs, try and hurt his opponent, and that will definitely, or should do, slow him down a little bit. Slow those feet down, because he's struggling with the movement here. He just can't get to grips with this moving boxer in front of him.
And he continues to dance his way into range, and unloads again with a big right hand and another left hook to follow as well. And before Santos can think about a response, he's disappeared out of sight. Sits in close, takes a left hook there to the body, which is what you were talking about before switching back to the head. But those are the things that his cornerman will be thinking about, pointing out to him that he should work Santos to the body again. That right hand, though, finding a way home.
See, the problem Santos has got also, his feet are far too slow. So that's allowing Nader just to box at distance, and he's very comfortable at this stage, is Nader. He can see his opponent coming forward very slowly, and he's just picking him off.
Crowd chanting the name of Nader. Well, he was trying to show him into the corner, but he wasn't going to stay there. And again, There's a 4-punch combination then ending with the right hand, but only one of them landed then from Santos.
Yep, not enough coming from him. It's going to be a real test of Nader's fitness and his mental concentration also. He's got to keep concentrating. We're still only into the 4th round of this contest. There's a long way to go. To box with these tactics throughout is going to be difficult for the challenger.
Just funny, isn't it? After watching him, if you've not seen him fight before, what you're left thinking about, he's missing. If he had just one other attribute to his game, you'd be talking about something very special, wouldn't you? And that is a knockout punch.
Power, yeah.
Well, he's got a 4th round in the bag. An impressive boxing display, box and move. That's exactly what he's done. And he's very close to being at the point where his lead is going to be unassailable, and it will mean that Santos is going to need a knockout or a stoppage, and you just can't see it happening, can you?
Well, they seem fairly calm in that corner. They've probably thought that or prepared him to lose probably the first 3 or 4 rounds. Again, good work from Nader there. Oh, they must have heard us with the arms.
Yeah, there you go. Good point.
Seconds out, 5th round.
I was reading recently, actually, Angelo Dundee's book about the view from the corner, where he was responding to people that said that, yeah, what do they do? They're not the ones in the ring. Then he sat there in the corner, holding the bucket. What do they do? He had some very interesting things to say.
I bet.
Here, though, has Roberto Santos got anything interesting to say in round 5? Pushing on toward the halfway point. There's the right hand again. Tried to play the left hook, then Santos, and he got beaten to it with the right hand.
I think we need to see a change of tempo from Santos here. He just keeps plodding forward. He's not doing anything different to what he was doing in the 1st round. It's all exactly the same. He needs to quicken the feet up. He's got to target the body. That's a little bit better. And he's also got to try and push Nader back to the ropes, restrict his movement a little bit, and then really go to it. That's where he should be going to work there. When he just pushed him back to those ropes. That's an opportunity there, missed.
Oh, good shot. Oh, good. Great right hand, followed up with 2 very, very quick left hooks again. Well, everything that Santos does has a really laboured feel about it.
Yeah, one pace, isn't it? One pace, same tempo.
You are wondering what sort of a night that he caught Dominic Brich on back in September. These guys were in the ring very recently. It's back on the 15th of September that he stopped at Brich in 8 rounds.
Yeah, but I can see this fella Santos, Tim, having success. If he's got an opponent just standing in front of him, then, you know, he certainly will have more success than what he's having now. Against the moving boxer that is in front of him here tonight, it's a nightmare for him. He just can't cope with the movement. But if Nader was to just slow those feet down, and that's what he'll be hoping that Nader will do. But he's being totally outboxed here.
He's getting a boxing lesson. The thing is, he's getting just as tired with punches that are missing. Having to follow his man around the ring as well. So it's, you know, it works both ways, doesn't it? And there again, the right hand setting up the left hook, and again, little jab to follow up as well. And he's doing everything right, is Marcus Nader here. And at the moment, you'd have to say that he is odds on to take this title, this first key title that he's fought for.
Well, it may all come down to fitness. I mean, he's boxing the perfect contest at this stage. He's Nader. It's whether his fitness can hold out for 12 rounds, but he's doing everything right.
Well, as a management team, he would be a dream, wouldn't he? He's executed, as you said, everything.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's done very well here so far. As you said, for the perfect Nader, we'd probably need to see a little bit more power from him. but still good skills. But his work here is very, very good, but it's been made easy for him. The opponent in front of him is coming forward very, very slowly, giving him the target to hit pretty easily. And, you know, you can only beat what's put in front of you. And Nader is certainly doing that at this stage.
Round number 6 then. And from here on in, we're going to be finding out just how well conditioned, how much stamina that he does have. If the pace is going to drop, if Santos can begin to take advantage with a slowing opponent in front of him, or whether or not he's used up as much energy in trying to chase him around for 18 minutes. And as we said, he's not a concussive puncher, Santos. And importantly, as far as Nader is concerned, he has been stopped before. And maybe he can do it again here. Again, too much distance in between the two of them. He pointed that out in previous rounds. He's got to get closer, Santos. As he gets in and does some decent work, little combination there, ending with the left hook, and there's the big right hand from Nader. It just pushes him back away, just gives him that reminder.
Yeah, occasionally you see in this round, Nader, his feet have just slowed down a little bit. Sometimes they've come square, it's a mistake, and that brings Santos into it. Santos has got to be so aware of that and recognise that situation, and as soon as those feet slow down of his opponent, he's got to jump on him. He really has. And what Santos has got to do also, Timmy, he's got to start using the double jab. Too many single jabs, he falls short. Look, he's falling short there. Double jab, that closes the gap down, measures the distance, and then brings your right hand into play.
Well, he's had a little bit more success in this round, but it's still maybe not enough to win it. He's going to have to do a little bit more than this. Fallen short too many times. He's still got just under a minute left here as Nader sets to work again.
You see, Santos doesn't pose too much danger or a threat, especially with his power, and that's just allowing Nader to be a little bit more confident and nicking the odd shot here and there. But there's no real threat from Santos in terms of power. Although this has probably been his best round, to be quite honest.
He's certainly landed more than he's landed in any other of the previous rounds, that's for sure. Well, once again, he's finishing on a high here, Nader, with that big right hand. And another one just slips. The final punch, and again, he's done enough to take that round as well, hasn't he? Or would you give it as even?
It's a close round, Tim, and I thought maybe Santos might just have nicked that round. I mean, it was a good last 10 seconds or so for Nader, but I thought Santos coming forward the way he did in that round, it was a better round for him.
So round 7 then, just around the corner here.
Now it's becoming an important part of this contest now, because questions are now going to be asked whether Nader can actually keep it going. Going into the second half of the contest.
Round 7 it is then. Certainly no signs that there's a slowdown. Again, certainly the hand speed is still there, and it's enough to push Santos back. For every one that he's landing, 2 or 3 are coming back in return. That's better from Santos, though. But there's no comparison, is there, in the hand speed and the time it takes to deliver. They're working to the body, following it up with the right hand this time, Santos. But again, that jab stinging in the face of Santos.
I think ring positioning also is crucial in this contest. That wasn't bad from Santos there, but Nader actually replies. But centre of the ring, the challenger is totally in control. It's only when Santos can back him up onto the ropes occasionally is when you see Santos really come into it. But from centre, there's only one winner here, and that's the man with the red shorts on.
Well, this is the best chance that he's had. He's certainly been more in range in these last couple of rounds, but when he does get in range, once again, as you saw there, the speed of delivery still pretty impressive from Marcus Nader. Again, range continuing to be the problem for Santos, not close enough.
Yeah, Nader there, just switching to southpaw also, that's showing his confidence. Santos too slow with the feet. Got to start doubling up the attacks a little bit more as well. Going to one attack, slight pause, then launch another attack straight away. That's a little bit better, but look, he stops.
Yeah, and a left hook then very nearly caught him off balance. Right hand and another left hook that followed. Well, there's been certainly more punches landed by Santos in the last 2 rounds. It's all too much for her to take. But coming out of it on the other side, he still did some pretty impressive work. Did he do enough to win that last round for you?
Close round. I'll give that 10-10 round, that last one. I actually thought Santos won the 6th round, however. I thought he just nicked it. So, signs that he is slowly starting to come back.
Si no se te escapa la pelea. Tienes que ir a tírale. Te la van a negar la pelea así, Roberto. Se mueve a veces. Nada. Pues ciérralo, no sé que se mueve.
He doesn't take his opportunities, though, Santos, enough for me. Speed of punch is far better from his challenger, Nader. Boxing at range, lovely switch of his feet there, and then delivers the right hand as more or less a southpaw. Lovely boxing on the back foot there at range.
Oh, I don't think we've had a night like this for a while, where everything is going the distance, or seems to be going the distance. I don't think we're too surprised to see this make it all the way to 12 rounds. Round 8 then. Nader in the red shorts, Santos in the white. If you've just joined us, this is the EBU European Union Middleweight Title. Well, as we expected, there has been a marked slowdown. There is a target now in front of Santos to hit. Whilst the movement has gone, the hand speed is still pretty much there and fully intact, and unloading at regular intervals. Crowd getting behind their man. Santos trying to get to work, the Tiger of Benidorm, as he's known.
Again, beating his opponent to the punch there, superb from Nader. signs again in this round that he's slowing down slightly, as we've said, but you have to remember, from his point of view, he's in against a very strong opponent who keeps coming forward, so he may be thinking that he wants to save a little bit in the tank for the last few rounds.
Oh, huge cheers go up every time he lands something or tries to land that big right hand. Nothing he's thrown, despite the number of punches and the speed at which he's thrown them, nothing has carried significant weight of power to worry Roberto Santos. But then the same can be said the other way.
Yeah, this is a little bit better from Santos, and I just sense a slowdown definitely from Nader, and Santos should step on the gas here. This is his opportunity to really get back into this contest. Nader's feet are slowing down. Look, he's holding his ground a lot more, and that should give Santos the chance then to come back.
Can continue to track his man without actually throwing too many punches here. Now he's getting close.
Yeah, but he's not doing enough, Tim. He's following his opponent around rather than cutting the ring space off. That's a little bit better.
And Nader will stand and trade with him.
I think he's missed an opportunity in this round here, Santos. I think Nader, he really slowed down here. Missed the opportunity in that round, Santos.
Crowd still enjoyed that round. Finished on a bit of a high. Did he do enough in your book?
I thought Nader nicked the round, to be quite honest. He's definitely tiring, this fella. And I think in that round, that was probably the most tired we've seen him in the contest. So,
but he's still very much this guy on a learning curve, isn't he? I mean, he's 22, so if he comes out of this and he's been through a 12-round title fight, maybe there was a bit too much movement going on in those opening 5 rounds that he won really at a canter.
Yeah, he won the first 5, no problem at all. And here's some action. Just getting caught as he's moving away from his opponent there, but the guard is up. Santos coming forward, manages to keep him on the ropes there. That was better from the champion, but then just allows him to move away.
Round number 9 of 12. And Santos again is fairly slow, tracking his man, but once again he was set perfectly for that right hand. There was quite a lot of power attached to that, or as much as he could muster.
Just keeps plodding forward, doesn't he, Santos? But no real head movement there. He's fairly easy to hit. There's no real zip in his work and his punches. It's all one-paced.
And it could be the pace that's going to cost him here, because he really does. Well, he's got to stop his man now, basically. Or at least win the 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th to make it interesting with those rounds that could have gone either way in the middle of this fight. Cheers for Marcus. Interesting, he had a very, very short spell, Santos, where he did try and work to the body about 3 rounds ago, but we've seen nothing of it since.
I mean, this EU title is a good title to hold, Tim. I mean, you know, it's just below the European, the proper European title, as we say. I mean, both these boxers are ranked in the top 10 of the European ratings. You've got Santos at number 6 and Nader at number 10. So to have this title, you know, you actually climbing those rankings, and then if you become the full European champion, then the next step then is a world title shot. So this is one step closer towards that.
Interesting division as well at world title level. We were talking about Quillen earlier on before we came on air. But here, Marcus Nader, the home fighter in the red trunks, is doing enough just to keep himself in front of this fight. He did enough, as he said, roared off into that early lead, winning every one of the opening 5 rounds. Strategy looks as if it's working. You see there's a bit more movement now re-emerging, and it's like you said a little bit earlier, he realized that maybe he just had to stand his ground for a couple of rounds to keep something in the tank for the final stages, for the run into the title. And that is exactly what it looks as if he has done here.
Ja, die hast du kommen. Das ist Ding ganz sicher.
Eine musst du noch ganz klar machen jetzt. Ja? Ja, richtig nochmal Akzente setzen jetzt in dieser Runde. Ja? Markus immer wieder von draußen bewegen.
So, 3 rounds left.
You see, in a 12-round contest, Tim, you go through phases of being tired, and then you come through them, and then you get a second wind again, and you feel a little bit better. And that's what's just happened in that round there. The last probably minute of that round, he felt a little bit better, you know, and his fitness has come through, and then he picked his feet up again, and he's working a lot better now. But the round before that, he definitely had a tired period. And as a boxer, you've got to recognise that situation and jump on your opponent when you see him tiring.
Well, he's drawn a decent crowd inside this arena here in Austria. Round 10 of 12. And again, this is just like now, winding the clock back about 6 rounds.
The disappointing thing for me from Santos has been it's been all one pace, one tempo. He hasn't tried to change anything. He hasn't upped the work rate. He just keeps plodding forward, single shots here and there, trying to grind down his opponent, which clearly isn't working. He's got to do something different, maybe throw more punches in bunches, double up the attack, but he's definitely got to change the tempo, which he hasn't done.
Well, he's almost out of time to do it. And the pain returns etched on his face as he realizes he's now got another 2 rounds of this. Chasing Nader around the ring, getting picked off.
Lovely little feint there from Nader with that jab. Feint the jab and then sent the right hand home. This is where he's got to go to work now, Santos. Again, lets him off the hook, lets him move again. Just a split second there. Nader just held his feet, put his elbows tucked in, was prepared to stand, but Santos failed to recognise it.
Well, again, you do tend to let your mind drift to the fact that you go back to his record, Nader, and there are so few stoppages on it. But the one thing that he doesn't possess is going to be maybe the one thing that stops him perhaps from becoming a world champion. Again, good array of shots coming in, but Santos walking through all of them. But as far as he's concerned, this night is all about winning a European title. And that is what he is in the process of doing with little trouble. Marcus Nader, barring those few rounds, 6, 7, and 8. Good right hand. The hook set him up for it.
Yeah, lovely short shot on the inside there with the left hand. Just dropped his left shoulder, didn't he? Slipped to the left and just brought that screw shot through the middle. And that set up that right hand. Good variation. Speed of punch crucial from Nader. Good boxing skills, Tim.
Yeah, the crowd thoroughly appreciative once again. And that is another round in the bag. Round 11 to come, and he's back on track. What do you do with a fighter in this position when if you're managing it all from his point of view? When, you're talking about the power, because he's going to know. He'll look down his record and he'll see just the one fight stop,
Well,
what can you do with it?
Definitely something you can improve on. A lot of people used to think that weight training develops power. It does to a certain extent. It can make you very robust, putting obviously a lot of muscle on through weights, but it's really down to technique, and obviously drawing your opponent onto a shot can double up the power. So working with heavy bags can also increase your power. He's got to work on power in the gym, but it's all down, in my opinion, a lot of it is down to technique and bringing him onto a shot and holding your feet for that split second more, so for them knuckles to land, rather than, if you watch the way Nader hits, a lot of the time he hits and he's moving all the time, which doesn't allow that power to really come through.
2 rounds to go then here. Nader in the red trunks. If you're just joining us, this for the EBU European Union Middleweight Title.
And what they've got to be telling him in that corner also, Tim, is just to concentrate. Got 6 minutes now. It's just down to concentration. He's won this contest. He can only lose it now through a lack of concentration and getting sloppy, Nader.
Well, there should be no reason that is, because the adrenaline should start to pump as he realizes he's under 6 minutes away from taking his first major career title. And all the hard work that he's done, paying dividends. And Santos has been made to look like a 31-year-old. He's plodded around the ring here for 11 rounds, and he's never been able to get close to put any serious pressure on the 22-year-old from Austria.
Yeah, the disappointing thing about Santos for me, he could probably do another 12 rounds at this pace, which, he's clearly failed in this contest. He's starting to get through now, but he should have been doing this a lot earlier. That wasn't a bad right hand from the champion now. Now he senses something, but he's only got 2 rounds to pull off this win.
Well, maybe another reason for that slowdown in the middle. As we said, it has been a busy year, this for Nader. 2 10-round decisions coming into this fight, and an 8-rounder to open the year with. So he's going to have fought 40 professional rounds by the end of 2012. Well, Santos will know now that he is a beaten man. I think he might have known that for the last couple of rounds or so. Just when Nader started to regain that movement to propel him around the ring, which he is now doing yet again.
You see what Santos has failed to do. He's failed to put the doubts in Nader's mind, Tim, earlier on in this contest about his fitness, pushing him a little bit more, maybe in those middle rounds, and then making the challenger think, can I get there till the end? But he's come through that now.
Final 10 seconds, and he drills a right hand through. Well, I think we mentioned this earlier on as well. When you look back at the road that he's followed since he's to arrive at this fight, yeah, he's not been fed the usual selection of, complete and utter no hope, as the opponents he's been in with, as we look at some of the action from the previous round, have all had fairly significant win records. Bertu and Baccarat Daku and Kosedu, Grassalini and Gaetano Nespero. They might not have all been at the top level, but they were all used to fighters that were used to winning more than they were losing.
Definitely, I made a note of it. Of his 16 opponents that he's had, 12 have got winning records, so he hasn't been matched
for the last
easily.
Round. Ringfrei für die letzte Runde.
So then the 12th and final round here. And away we go. Santos has got 3 minutes to see if he can land something big. stop his man in his tracks? Is he going to go to war for the final time? Is he going to get close and just throw everything that he's got left inside? He must have plenty, because he hasn't thrown a lot in this fight. He's done a lot of movement around the ring trying to catch Nader, but he's not thrown an awful lot. Nader continuing to be that moving target that is difficult to hit. And he's got to stay out of range. He doesn't want to tempt fate.
Look at the urgency now from Santos. Why didn't we see this earlier? He's taken to the last round for him to come out like, look at this now from the champion. This is much better. This is what he should have been doing from about round 7 and 8, and really asking the questions of his challenger.
Crowd on their feet behind us, trying to just spur on their man. Again, uppercuts and left hooks coming in. Decent short right hand there as well. And Nader is quickly off into the distance, but back they meet again. One last throw of the dice here from Santos.
Nader now very, very tired, opting just to hold his ground a little bit and trying to block a few of these shots with his elbows, and the gloves are held high. For me, he needs to move a little bit more. He's getting caught with the odd shot here from now Santos.
Certainly isn't a lot left in the attack here of Nader. And he's ending in this toe-to-toe war in the final round, and even Santos now has just dropped the work rate. He's just taken all that he's had to offer in this opening 2 minutes of the final round, and now imagine that Nader will step it up again.
He's taking a few more risks now, Nader, but he's actually boxing quite well. He's fighting fire with fire, and he is coming through. Great last round.
Really good last round here in Austria. These two giving it everything. Nader backtracks, was good, and he followed a good left hook and a right hand as well. But Nader is coming back. He is determined. He is not going to be detracted from this European title that he has worked so hard to win.
Great last round from Santos.
Well, you're just wondering, and it's like you said, why he didn't do this 3 rounds ago. Whether he's under some crazy delusion that he's actually leading 10 seconds to go. And these two at war right to the last. And it concludes what's been a really good evening here in Austria. He's got to be kidding. Santos goes with his arm raised back to his corner. And he knows he's in foreign lands, which is one thing that he's brought his title to. That is folly enough. But to believe that he is going to continue as champion and to take the belt home with him, not after this performance, he's not.
No, well, he won the last round, and he may have nicked the 11th as well, but for me, there's only one other round that I've given apart from them, and one even, so it's a clear winner for the challenger for me, Nader. And putting a good grandstand finish, took some risks in that last round, and that allowed Santos then to come back with some better work, and he definitely won the last round, did the champion, but it was far too little too late from him. And Nader there just doing that grandstand finish for people. Really, everyone around is just on their feet clapping. It was a great last round.
Well, it's the end of what has been a very, very busy year for Marcus Nader. And indeed for this guy here. It's relatively short notice to take these fights, these guys in action in the middle of September. Well, tense and nervous moments here. The crowd going a little quieter. Well, Santos, there have been stranger decisions, but I mean, this really would silence this.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
There's only one winner here. There he is there. I've got it 117, 112, and I've probably been a little bit generous to Santos. Some judges may see it a little bit differently because Santos kept coming forward, but he was coming forward squatting flies for me all night. He wasn't hitting the target at all. Apart from the last couple of rounds, he started to get through. But for me, this fella boxed a good contest, good tactics, and managed to hold it throughout.
Well, they're taking their time to get to the decision, but finally I think we're ready with the judges' scorecards.
Meine Damen und Herren, ladies and gentlemen. Hier das Urteil. Pierluigi Poppi, 114 zu 114.
Level.
Joking. You are joking, come on.
Esa Letosari, 114 to 115. For Nader. Venislav Nikolov, 114 to 114, and the new champion.
It was
Austria, Marcos Nader.
very, very close. Much closer than I think we thought it was going to be.
I find that's astounded me, to be quite honest.
Sorry.
Wow. Very nearly silenced this crowd then. You hear the boos and whistles now. They're still just... Hang on.
Ein Fehler meinerseits. Bei 2 Unentschieden.
Hold on a minute. The decision has changed. It is Santos has retained. No. Yeah, so of course it would be. It's a draw, isn't it?
Well, there you go. Not on my scorecard.
Poor Santos. I mean, that is some decision now. Are they going to keep it as a draw? Or are they going to go back and have a third go at it?
Another round.
Yeah, another round. It's not big as better.
Yeah. Well, we did say that some of the judges may like the Santos for coming forward, but for me, you've got to hit the target, and he didn't do it often enough tonight for me. I thought there was only one winner there, and that was the challenger.
Well, I mean, if you go back and look at the scores of the rounds, I mean, we easily won the first 5 rounds.
I had it. No, I had it one. Yeah. In fact, I got mine 117, 113. I've got mine.
Well, it's strange.
4 points.
It's strange, isn't it, that even in the box in the hometown, the away fighter has got a decision like that. Well, he's got lucky. Well, what that does mean, I suppose, is we might get a rematch, and that'll be an interesting fight. Well, we'll hear more about this in the days to come, just exactly how they managed to get that wrong at the end. But Santos gets away with it.